Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Drew Clark, host of BroadbandBreakfast.com, also with Rural Telecommunications Congress and Best in Krieger. I'm here today at Mountain Connect in Keystone, Colorado, and this will be the first of several interviews I'll be having this afternoon. Interviewing here today two of the important folks from Colorado Mountain Community. So let me turn the camera around and you speak to them. This is Paul
Reckenzone.
Reckenzone, very
Yes.
good. All right, and Alex?
I'm Alex Teltorst.
Okay, wonderful. So Paul and Alex, I'm just going to step back so I can get a shot of both of you here. Tell me a little bit about Colorado Fiber Community. What is Colorado Fiber Community, and what is your message here to this conference, Mountain Connect?
Sure, yeah. Colorado Fiber Community is a group of companies that support municipalities and organizations that want to solve their own broadband problems. And so we offer planning, implementation, operations and maintenance services to municipalities, local governments, homeowners associations, and small groups of engaged citizens who want to stop waiting for a broadband solution to come to them and start taking action to solve their own problems.
Okay, and one of the messages we just heard in your presentation, Paul, was that communities don't need to wait
That's
to
exactly
get better
right.
broadband. Could you talk a little bit about that? What is it that led you at Colorado Fiber Community to get started, and why is it important to get better broadband?
Absolutely, Drew, thank you. As we have been studying broadband, especially in Colorado over the last 5 or 7 years, we've encountered again and again and again communities who have said, we just need more state funds or we need more federal funds. And we've realized that that is probably not going to happen. And so we looked at 4 separate models of creating shared infrastructure that individual communities can take a hold of, whichever one of the 4 that best meets their needs.
Okay.
The first of those 4 is...
Now, just
go
a
ahead.
second here. When we say shared infrastructure, what do you mean by shared infrastructure? Could you just define that for our users here?
Yes. When we talk about shared infrastructure, another word that a lot of people oftentimes use for it is open access infrastructure. In our shared infrastructure model, we have a network owner who wholesales that infrastructure to multiple private service providers who provide retail services. So what we're able to do is we're able to create a marketplace that is vibrant and competitive without having to have multiple service providers come in and build again and again and again.
And what are examples of this kind of shared infrastructure that you've seen out there?
One of the most aggressive examples of the shared infrastructure goes all the way back to the Telecommunications Act of '96, when the federal government required telecommunications companies to unbundle their networks.
Okay.
Now that doesn't really work all the time. If you step up into the future a little bit more, Ashland, Oregon started a project where they were doing open access. The projects, there's 9 counties public utility districts in Washington, and those 9 counties are required to do a wholesale retail split. The Utopia project in Utah has done some fantastic things with this shared infrastructure, open access type of a model. So those are some of the more famous ones throughout the nation.
Isn't it fair to say, Paul and Alex, that the open access model is quite common on the middle mile world, where you're basically selling services to other providers, but it just hasn't quite gotten full scale on the retail provisions?
That's right. But that's what we feel like that's the right way forward. And so if it's already been proven on the middle mile side, and there are any number of examples of where it is working on the retail side, we feel Colorado Fiber Community's mission is to go ahead and take that out to as many communities as possible.
Okay, so Paul, go ahead and tell us about those 4 examples of shared infrastructure that you were speaking about.
You bet, thank you. The first one is where a community decides to build a network. In Rio Blanco County, the Utopia network is another example of that. In Rio Blanco County, Colorado, the county decided they wanted to have a fiber and wireless infrastructure to provide at least a 25.5 service.
25
megabits
downstream.
Download, 5 upstream. Minimum service to everybody in the county.
Okay.
If you look up Rio Blanco County on a map, you're going to find that perhaps there are maybe 6,000 residents in this entire county. This is a very small and very rural community, but they decided that 21st century telecommunications infrastructure, broadband infrastructure, was a critical element to them being relevant in today's economy. So they decided to do it, and they decided to make it available to multiple service providers.
Great. That was the Rio Blanco County example.
Yes.
You mentioned northeastern Colorado. It's the second.
The second example, Northeast Colorado, it's a territory of about 6 counties. Again, extremely rural area. In this 6-county area, it is a very interesting environment because there are 8 incumbent local exchange carriers in that 6-county area. 5 of those ILECs have already built fiber to the premises using money from the 2009 stimulus program. Those all have very small network areas that's extremely difficult to create a sustainable business market from those areas.
And this is a way to avoid that complication by having a group of providers teaming up
If we
together.
team up all those providers together and create an aggregated market and throw in some public development as well, we create a very vibrant marketplace.
Okay, great. Quickly, what are the third and fourth examples?
The
that you
third
mentioned?
example that we talked about is an example of using the San Luis Valley Rural Electric Cooperative to build infrastructure, and they will open that infrastructure to other competitors. And the final mechanism is we're using special taxing districts or other types of special districts, or even homeowners associations with homeowners association dues to be able to create the capital to build these networks, and then to have multiple service providers.
To actually put a fee on themselves,
Put a
if you
fee
will,
on
so that they
themselves.
can get this kind of network.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much, Paul and Alex, for speaking with me. Is there any kind of message you'd like to give for what you hope people will take from your presentation and your discussions here at Mountain Connect?
We're hoping that that if somebody hears our presentation, hears our ideas, and it resonates, and often the people we work with have already been in this space, have already been trying to talk to their local service providers, to talk to their incumbents and say, help us solve this problem, and there just isn't a business model in the current model that they can use to solve a problem, especially in a rural community.
There's another way.
There's another way, and that if they want to get into it and they want to try and solve their own problems, we would love to help them do that.
Okay, last words, Paul.
Broadband is important in America, and we're going to make it happen.
Great. Thanks for joining on our live stream here from Mountain Connect. I'll be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and then again at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. With other updates. Thanks for joining. Join again. Bye.